Good morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste experience on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I hope you're all radiant. I know you are. I hope you know that you're radiant. I hope that you feel that radiance. I can see it. Hopefully you can see it as well and feel it and know. This is all about knowing. We're no longer here to believe. We're no longer here to have faith. Faith never got you very far. Are you willing to accept that? No, faith is of the mind. And the mind is, well, weak. We'll just say it like it is. Faith is a good first step, but it's only a first step. We are here to come into a place of knowing, not believing, of feeling that reality moving through and all around us every moment. That 12-inch journey from here to here. Now, I often break this awakening into 3 different sections, as you probably know. This was originally expressed in the Yeshua Code. It begins with the opening and the awakening of the mind, or the illumined mind, when suddenly the tumblers fall into place and you are able to see everything as it really is. And there's a temptation in that moment to believe that I got it. I'm the one. I'm the guru now. I'm going to go out and I'm going to light the world on fire. But what you haven't realized yet is there is no world except the world in your mind that you're trying to light on fire. And it's still very much attached to that ego drive. The hooks of the ego are still very present in the illumined mind. So it's very, very, very important at that point to stay what? Anybody know? Humble and vigilant. Thank you. Yes, humility is key. Because the more humble we are, not believing that I had anything to do with this opening, the quicker it will sink into the heart, the awakened heart. And this is when we look around and we simply love everything and everyone. How? Exactly as it is. Not needing to change anything or to determine our place, anything at all, just simply to accept all things exactly as they are, to love. Because then at some point, these two become one reality. The illumined mind and the awakened heart merge and become the real experience we're after. The realized soul. Now, of this, we cannot speak. No words, no symbols can go there. But you know, you know. You can't explain it. You can't describe it, but you know. And at that moment, the only thing that's left to do is to give it away. So this is the path that we seem to be on. In truth, it's not a real path at all, because in truth, you're already there. Reality is forever real. You never left your home. But we begin by affirming divine order and expect the best. We know that the best will always be here. And that, by the way, is the daily word. I affirm divine order and I expect the best. Now, what I like doing is taking just these opening phrases in the daily word and kind of like you're bobbing at the surface of the ocean. So, okay, well, let's take that. Now let's dive deep. What is that really saying to us? One thing I promise you is that it's not telling you how to have a better life. Ooh, that's surprising, isn't it? What do you mean it's not telling me how to have a better? Isn't that what spirituality is for? How to teach me how to get along better in the world? Nope, that's not what it's for. That's what you want to believe. That's what the ego is always taught. Just do these things and you're going to have a better life. You're going to have more money, more friends, more influence. That's not what true spiritual growth is about. It's about the realization, the full, complete realization that I am. We'll just leave it there. I am. The I am presence is within me now. And within that radiance, everything else just is gone. So when we affirm divine order, this is another way of saying that I accept everything exactly as it is. Ooh, that's another tricky one, because affirming divine order typically in the mind is, well, I'm going to affirm only that which seems to align with God's will. Here's the problem. You have no idea what that is. No idea. Because every idea you've ever had has been to deny the true working of divine order in every moment, which is exactly as it is right now. So the way to know what God's will is in this moment is to look outside and just affirm, I love you, I love you. I have no resistance at all to anything that is happening in front of me. Non-resistance. Because the moment I declare that's not in divine order, this should be different, I'm trapped. And here's the other wonderful thing. The moment I have no resistance to that is the exact same moment that all of those other things fall away on their own. Did you see that? Let me say it again. If I'm resistant to anything, then I've claimed it. I'm stuck there. But no resistance. I allow all things to be exactly as they are right now. And when I truly allow and merge everything that is not in alignment, everything that is not even really there, it just drops away. I need do nothing. I don't need to do anything to make anything happen. It's already happening right in front of me. So when we say, I affirm divine order and I expect the best, it's because the best is already there right in front of me. And my affirmation of that is what allows me to merge into the experience of divine order. I want to read just a tiny bit of lesson 268 from A Course in Miracles. That's the lesson. It's actually very, very similar to the lesson of today, which says, I see all things as I would have them be. Now, you could take that both ways. I see all things as I would have them be, not as they really are, but as I want them to be. But this is very different. It says, let all things be exactly as they are. And this is the prayer. Let me not be your critic today and judge against you. Let me not judge against anything. Let me not attempt to interfere with your perfect creation and distort it into sickly forms. Let me be willing to withdraw my wishes from its unity. Let me be willing to withdraw my wishes from its unity, and thus to let it be as you created it. Let all things be as you created. For thus will I be able to recognize myself with a capital S as you created me. Thus will I be able to recognize myself as you created me, whole, perfect, and complete. Only when I allow everything to be exactly as it is. Only when I do not try and change anything. Only when I just simply receive. In love was I created, and in love will I remain forever. What can frighten me? when I let all things be exactly as they are. There are two sentences that follow that. I just want to share these two sentences. Only reality is free of pain. Only reality is free of pain. And only reality is free of loss. Only reality is wholly safe reality. And it is only this that we seek today. Only reality. So this is simply a call to step back, to release all of my ideas and concepts and judgments of what should be. Now this, well, it sounds a lot easier than it is, doesn't it? Because we have become so habituated into judging and to claiming what should be and what should not. So this is a call inward, a call to a deep prayer. Help me to see, help me to see, help me to see. Maybe that'll be your mantra today. Help me to see as you see, to know as you know, to love as you love. On my own, I can do nothing. On my own, I'm crippled because there's no such thing as on my own. But I seem to believe there is, and what else could cripple me more than that? So I affirm divine order, and I let all things be exactly as they are. So, Victoria, I'm going to turn it over to you and hear what you'd like to share about that.
Good morning, Brother Jeff.
There
I'm
she
right
is.
here. Here I am.
Morning,
Well,
Vicki.
good morning, everyone. And just what a beautiful setup.
Hold on a second, Vicki. We can't hear you here. Let me just try something. Okay. Oh, we should be able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay, let me.
It's the Verizon. Thank you, Judy.
We'll just switch over to my computer mic. All right, go ahead, Vic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, here I am. Good morning, everybody. And first I want to say, it's a beautiful day in the Northeast. And in America today, it's an election day of local things. And the first thing I would say that I've realized and learned as our minds open and our hearts awaken to love, that love is eminently practical, even though the experience and the knowing that things are not what they seem. And perhaps as we come into, and we are coming in to our realized soul, into the realization that we are the living, walking, breathing light and love of God, that is what we really are. And that as we return always to love, it's like love now, no matter what. So here we are at an election. This is how practical everything that is of love and light is, because even though they are not, that the time and space and perception and all the rest of it that we seem to appear in is not our reality, the energies and the frequency of love and light are available in every dimension, including in perception, if we are the ones that bring it into perception. So, for example, I'm going to go after the call and I'm going to vote. And one of the best things I have going for me most of the time is I haven't got a clue what's going on. I just, I've learned not to try to change things, but neither to engage them. And I've seen around me that many people love to have discussions about all the things going on, but I'm not inclined to discussion, but I am inclined to joining. So it's been very helpful for me to learn how to be present and love, not to try to change myself or anyone else's any ideas, because ideas are all of the realm of perception. And that's no different than trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic. I'm not trying to rearrange someone's idea of what works and what doesn't work, but I am a present outpost. You know, like we are the peace poles, each of us where we are. I'm the present outpost for love, for the fullness of love. And the best that I know is I refer to love in every situation, not about the perhaps the specifics, but certainly about the present joining, certainly about being presently joined without an opinion. And sometimes that will be a challenge for me, but somehow I've seen how it somehow unfolds to a greater opening of being present with each other and simply loving each other when the issues seem to fall away. Because I don't engage them, I realize that they seem to kind of just dissolve away. And what I do engage in is present joining. So now here's an election. I'm going to go to an election booth. And this year it's brand new because I'm in a new location and I don't even know where the election booth is. I'm going to have to find it. And coming into an election, things are not as they appear. My will is God's will. I said it yesterday, I think there's a great line that says, when the Son's will is in complete accord with the Father, and that can only happen in this present moment. So in this moment, let our will be joined with our Creator's will, and that is heaven. That is this moment, the realization of ourselves as one, as love, as I am. So I go into the election booth and I, just like I do here, I haven't got a clue, Holy Spirit. How can I be helpful? How can I be truly helpful? I have no idea who's who, what. I don't even understand those questions they're asking me. It's a lot of thinking and a lot of figuring out, oh my gosh, who is writing this for what purpose? And it's way beyond my page. That's all I know. So I really go in and it's that simple. And this is how practical spirituality is. Holy Spirit, help me just to be present and to express love in the most blessed, healing, comforting way that I can. And that's how I'll go into the election booth. No different than when we show up together here. Nothing on my mind makes only love on my mind. So I keep nothing of the specifics. And boy, they send a lot of specifics in the mail. Vote yes, vote no, vote up, vote down. Oh my gosh. So I go in with, here I am, Lord, please help me. Sebastian Blakeslee, some of you know, has a good line he uses. When he was a little boy, he started to hear Jesus and Mary and the angels. And his message was, let me be a pencil in God's hand. Actually, that's what he was told in one of his experiences, that God wanted him to be a pencil in his hand. And since then, he's written a lot of books, as a pencil would do. So I'm not a pencil that writes, but I'm an outpost that breathes love into every experience I hopefully walk into, because that's really all I'm called to do. And it's as simple as that. Abide in that word of love, abide in that presence of love. And it is eminently practical. We are here to be the hands and the feet and the voice of the living Christ. That is what we are. That's what that I am presence is. But it's not something that we can write out in an outline and figure out how to move into it. It's simply being present now to love. Love now. No matter what I seem to be going on, love now brings me into holiness and into oneness. And if we follow the directions are very simple. We are here in time to heal, to bless, and to love. No matter where we are in our realization, whether our mind is open, whether our heart is awakened to love, to heal, to comfort, and to bless. Those are the experiences of love that will bring us into greater realization in our mind, greater love in our heart, and greater oneness with who the I am and the ego identity seem to be. The more that we simply heal, comfort, love, and bless, the identity of that role of that we have thought we were somehow just fades out. It does dissolve. It's like the higher frequency of love dissolves the lower frequencies of all these definitions. And most importantly, the definition of the role that we've taken on. So we are learning to be ourselves without the addition of guilt, fear, and a role that we made up. But when we let everything go to love, the love dissolves everything except the purity and the sweet innocence that we are. And we can afford, and we must learn how to do this all the time, to trust it and know that that is enough to lead us. That's enough. That'll take us where we need to be, in this fuller realization of the light, this fuller realization and fulfillment of love, and the fuller realization of only thy will be done, while we seem to be here in time and in space. That's the perception of love. Let everything be. I need not engage it. I need not change it. I need simply to bless it and know that my blessing is the agent of change, is the love that dissolves the fear that was showing up as different perceptions of pain. Only the ego knows pain, because the ego identifies with outcome. When we identify with source and with love, there is no pain, because we have no judgment of what should or shouldn't be. We have an acceptance and a welcoming and a looking with welcome and wonder to let things unfold by grace rather than by judgment. So here I am, off to the elections, to be very practical, to listen. And even if I make a mistake, it's okay, because my intention is to be present, to love, and to listen to the voice of love, knowing that is what I am. And that is where we live, in this knowing that love is our identity. So that's what I have to say, Brother James. And I see Darla and Alden in the room too.
Yes, I saw that as well. And I would love to hear what they share. And I think we recognize that, at least for those of us from the US, this is a good day to practice. Let all things be exactly as they are. Because they may or may not be what you want. They may not be what you think they should be, but they are what they are. So let them be what they are, to show that it doesn't matter. Ultimately, none of those outward things really matter. So let them be, but just love, keep loving. So, Darla and Alden, I would love to hear a few words from both of you, since you're going to be here very soon, and we're so excited to welcome you. So let's hear it.
Well, thank you, James and Vicki. Just a brilliant presentation this morning. Really enjoyed it. And one thing I might add to the idea of elections is sometimes you feel like things are completely falling apart, or things are really getting better. And then the next election, things are really falling apart. There's this constant up and down, up and down. And our mission here is to express just how safe we are with all the vicissitudes of the world. No matter what happens, we are completely safe in the arms of God. We're completely in the arms of love, and nothing can ever change that. And we can be a beacon of truth to all of our brothers here in this world by not being affected by these seemingly massive changes happening in the world. And it's our safety as well, to simply say, this world does not affect my true state of being in any way. And it's actually a nice challenge, something like an election or global warming or whatever seems to be threatening or loving in any one moment. No matter what happens, we're completely safe. And that's a great message, just your presence in that safety state, our presence with our brothers, not being afraid of all the changes that may occur in some fashion or other. That energy or presence extends to everyone we meet during the day. And it's a great purpose to have in our lives now, that we can extend the safety and the peace of God to all we meet. And that's a very loving thing you can do for everyone. And yeah, these things like elections are a perfect chance to show that nothing really dramatic is actually happening, but that peace and love are constantly our protection in this world. We're completely safe because we are the sons of God, and nothing can ever change that. So thanks, everyone. Darla, would you like to say a few
Thank you,
words?
Alden. Thank you. That was beautiful. And thank you, James and Vicky. You're both miraculous. Thank you for your brilliant minds and hearts and souls. Yes, Vicky, when she goes to the polls and when we go to the polls, we're going to affirm. What was it? Affirm. I wrote it down. Divine order. Whatever that looks like, we're going to affirm divine order. That's the key. Then we don't have to worry about anything, right? Yeah. And I appreciate that reality was brought up today. We're always being reminded of our reality and knowing versus simply faith. Although I love the word faithfulness, because to me that means the knowing and the certainty. I really like that word. In A Course in Miracles, it says faithfulness, one of the attributes of a teacher of God. And also the I am was mentioned. And I read something about that this morning. A friend who's going to be with us there in Namaste Village in January, Christine, sent a reminder to me about a quote she read. And it also reminded me of this that I read today. Moses, it was revealed by God to Moses that God said, I am. And then he revealed more and said, I am that I am. And then our Christ came, Jesus Christ came and revealed, expanded that out for our human minds to understand. Just expanded the revelation. And a little bit of that I read today that I liked. I am the reality of endless life. I am the good shepherd. I am the pathway of infinite perfection. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the secret of eternal survival. And I was just reminded of that when James mentioned the I am, Vicky mentioned the I am, and we are, aren't we? We are that together. So I love you all so very much. We're very excited about being with you in a moment. Vicky, again, I don't often get to thank you for your beautiful sharing. And James, you're always incredible. The bountiful brother. Yeah, so I love you all, and we'll see you in a moment. And we'll be with you before we get there in the flesh. We'll be with you here on Zoom. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Alden and Darla. We're looking so forward to having you with us. And I know you're bringing some fun people as well. So it's going to be a party, as it always is here at Namaste Village. So remember, I affirm divine order today. What a great day to do that. And to let everything be exactly as it is, to not have any even preference. You know, I used to believe that it's all about divine, turning our demands and expectations into preferences. Now I realize that I don't even need to have a preference. I just allow everything to be exactly as it is and know that God's will is wholly present in every holy moment. That's it. So here's what we're going to do to end our session. We're going to do a little chant with just the words, I affirm divine order. So I'm not as good as Scott at making up songs in the moment, but chants I could probably do. So I'll sing it once, then I'll bring you in. So just join me. I affirm divine order. I affirm divine order. I affirm divine order today. Join me. I affirm divine order. I affirm divine order. I affirm divine order today. Once more. I affirm divine order. I affirm divine order. I affirm divine order today. And so it is. Let all things be exactly as they are. So bless you all. Let's go ahead and we'll close with our prayer of protection. Let me pull it up here. Okay, here we go. Oh, almost there. There we are. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well. Amen, 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 y punto. Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing day.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Love you.
Thank
Namaste.
you, everyone.
Love you. Namaste.
I love you.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Tomorrow's
Namaste, everybody.
Good to see you.
Margaret.